Getting to be a counselor this summer was very meaningful to me. Getting the privilege and the opportunity to work with kids and to share the gospel with them, getting to give them the tools about how to abide in Jesus was really just a great experience, and I'm very thankful that I got to do it this summer.
Being a counselor means to get to disciple kids and get to know them really well and be kind of a mentor for them during the week that they're here, which is a really fun part of the job. It also means to be kind of a senior member of staff and disciple some of the younger staffers as they will age into the counselor position. You get to kind of teach them and be their mentor as they're growing up in staff.
To me, being a counselor is all about building relationships with kids so that I can share the gospel with them and share the good news of Jesus Christ with them and further a connection with each kid in my cabin so that I can, be their friend.
Being a counselor to me is leading my campers in the way of Jesus alongside a JC and other staff members, while also having fun and letting the kids experience stuff like canoeing and other things like that they have never got to experience before.
Being here at camp for 6 weeks, just solely focusing on sharing the gospel with kids and also growing spiritually yourself gives a lot of motivation walking out of camp to share the gospel with other people. I was very fortunate this semester. I'm a college student, and I was very fortunate to have the chance to share the gospel with a couple different people. And I think working at camp this summer definitely gave me a lot more motivation and a lot more courage and boldness to be able to do that.
Being a counselor has honestly given me the boldness to spread the gospel outside of camp. Before I was a counselor, I was really very timid about it. But being able to just sit with these kids who may or may not know the gospel, you kind of just have to jump in. Because if you go into it with fear, then they're gonna have fear about listening or accepting it. So you kind of just have to be bold with it.
Being a counselor at Cedar Lake has really helped me learn how to share the gospel with other people, whether it's kids or my peers or whoever, even outside of camp. I think it's really been influential in showing me how important connection with people is first and foremost, rather than just throwing the gospel at them and hoping it sticks. I think the most influential part to me has been the friendships and the connections I've made that have then flourished into me sharing the gospel.
Well, being a counselor has made me more confident in spreading the gospel in general and my answers for questions, and it's also just made me know how to connect with kids. And so I got to go on the mission trip with camp this year, and despite the language barrier, I could still connect with the kids, and I did get to share the gospel with one of them and talk about what being saved is despite our language barrier. And so camp has just helped me learn how to be comfortable talking about the gospel and also connecting with kids.
If you're someone who is very passionate about the gospel and about having opportunities to pour into kids and do kids ministry, this is the place to be. It's just such a great experience. I had the pleasure and the great privilege this summer to be able to lead 2 different kids to the Lord. And also there were other kids in my cabin who came to know Jesus as their Lord and Savior, either through a campfire talk or my junior counselor. But those 2 times where I shared the gospel with those 2 different kids and they both accepted it was just such an amazing moment, such a joyous moment. And I'll never forget that. It was so awesome. And so it's moments like that that make working at camp worth it.
I'd say go for it. Being a counselor here has honestly been some of the most shaping times of my life. It's been super fun. You meet lifelong friends. There are friends who I've worked with here who I don't really live near anymore, and we don't really see each other that much, but the connection will be there forever, and you get to make an impact on the campers who come to camp here, and you get to make an impact on the people around you.
If you're thinking about working at Cedar Lake this summer, I'll tell you that I've met my best friends here. Each of my friends that I have right now have come through Cedar Lake staff with me, and we've grown ever since. And you build such good connection, and you learn so much in your relationship with Jesus. And it's a place that's led me to grow more than I can explain.
Definitely work at Cedar Lake because it is the most fun you'll ever have. It's the most fun I've ever had. And you will meet all of your best friends there. I know that all of my friends now I met at camp, and it's just a really great experience that if you're interested in ministry or working with kids or anything, then it's great to have the experience, but it's also super fun.